All right, everyone. We're back for round five.
Hello, and we have a spicy one for you today. We've got Andrea on the Buggy, which is quite
Yeah.
the surprise, and Eric on Teach. They're doing the dice roll right
So
now.
both players are 4-0 right now. And I will say that Buggy is really have a pretty good matchup versus Teach.
It's definitely very good. You have to always contemplate as the Blackbeard. Do you want to turn on the on plays? Do you want to turn off the on
Yeah.
plays? Do I want that 12k body, or do I want him to bottom deck something? It's really tough.
Exactly.
Conundrum for the Blackbeard player.
Cuff, if you don't turn on the black hole, Buggy can just spam his board with all his characters, bring one more characters. But if you do, you risk facing a 10 cost Buggy that doesn't bottom himself.
Yeah. So this should be a very interesting one. I'm not sure if they've already rolled their dice yet. I don't believe so, but it should be interesting to see who ends up winning that
Yeah.
and taking the priority on turn order. Yeah, it looks like they already did. I'm not sure who won it.
What would you want as Teach?
I think
I think you
maybe
still
first to
want,
avoid that 5 Dawn curve leader effect.
but he still have it at his 6 down turn.
They still
yeah.
have it on the 6
Yeah.
Dawn. Do you just delay it one turn?
Mm,
We see a quick mulligan from Buggy.
yeah.
And the Teach opting to keep his hand.
So Buggy probably wants to see at least a 10 cost Buggy in his
Yeah.
hand. Looks like we have someone supporting Andrew and Buggy on chat.
I mean, I don't want to give any biases here, but we do like to see the Buggy Teach, yes. In this
Yeah.
matchup, I'm not too aware. Do you really want to go into the very late game and spam the Teaches, or are you trying to just end this game as soon as possible from the
I-
Teach perspective?
Think you lose the late game because he can just bottom deck all your Teach.
Yeah.
Looks like he played a version with the I-bid that can kill a 6 or less.
Yeah.
That could really help to clear at least a body from Buggy. He played a Sanji, that's good on curve, filling up his hand to use his leader effect later on.
Grabbing
Looks
another
like he,
Teach.
yeah. Since he trashed one already, I guess he didn't want to trash the other
Yeah.
one.
Really hoping that the Buggy player does not end up seeing the 10 cost Buggy here.
Yeah, but we know already that he have two.
Yeah. And this is the first turn the Buggy can activate their leader effect, so let's see what they opt to do here.
Yeah. So it looks like Tish didn't use any on his. He didn't use black hole, his leader effect.
Taking the first life, no trigger. Looks like a Shiryu in the hand of Teach from life.
He's probably gonna play a 5 cost. Das bomb. Okay, he used his leader ability.
Yeah, I think he's just debating on what he wants to trash.
Yeah. Does he have a 7 cost? I don't think so.
So he just played
Okay,
hard
he just
plays
played
the
the
Das
Das one.
moves.
Yeah, because he doesn't seem to have a 7 cost.
He's got his on play, so take the opportunity to cycle.
Okay, he
And
cycled
he
one,
trashes the
one
10
buggy.
Buggy. Interesting choice to trash that.
He had 3 in hand.
Okay.
But he really needs to find his Crocs. That brings another body. Because if he just play one body at a time, the teach can deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if he has the answer to this.
Does he have a pistol?
The
Looks
only
like
thing with
not.
Teach, the problem being that, if Teach wants to remove that body, they always have to choose one. They either remove the body or develop their own. And obviously, if they opt to use the Shigon, they have no board, leading them later and later into that late game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Looks like he
Swings
took his
5, Buggy
life.
takes.
Oh, he
And
had
there
the
it is.
Shigan.
There is the Shigan, indeed. The Blackbeard opting not to have a board to develop on their own. And with 2 Dawn, maybe play out a Lafitte.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Looking for those
Yeah.
remaining pieces in his deck.
Buggy really needs to find his 7-cost Buggy or Croc.
Yeah, I think on top of facing buggies, there's always that surprise factor, right? Like you don't really know exactly what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine from the teacher's perspective, this there's already a lot to handle here. He did not turn off his on plays, correct? Yeah. So he just searches with the 1 on.
Okay, he found his Croc.
Like you said, yeah, get that Croc, spam the board.
Yeah.
And now suddenly it looks a bit scary for
Teach cannot
Teach.
remove 2
Yeah.
at the same turn.
Another Dawn. Is it another search? It is indeed
Yeah.
another search. Not removing those on plays, hurting the Teach.
Yeah.
But obviously opting not to go with the alternative, which is a 12k
Yeah.
body.
At least he's keeping his hand healthy by not using his leader ability.
Yeah.
So
Grabbing
he
the
picked
Daz
up
Bones, the vanilla.
Daz
I
Bone.
believe it's a 5/7.
Yeah. So that will be
Swing
Croc
5 into the
Daz
Lafitte,
Bone
using the
probably.
lead effect.
So you have to trash 1 card.
What does he opt to trash? The
Oh, he's
Sanji's
trashing the
Pilaf,
Pilaf.
playing the Croc, I
Yeah.
imagine.
He's playing
The
Croc
Croc.
into
Oh, the
Daz.
Buggy.
Oh,
wow.
Buggy, interesting. Oh, into the
To play the Mihawk. Very
Buggy
nice.
can play a 6-cost.
Very nice. Now, really limiting the Blackbeard from being able to play any
Yeah.
Burgess here.
And that's a big blogger too.
Very well played by a Buggy. I would not want to be Teach in this position right now. It's also a tell that the Buggy player trashes a 10-cost Buggy, kind of showing the player that I do have more.
I do have more. Yeah,
So you
exactly.
kind of have to keep my on plays, and then suddenly you get a board
Yeah.
like this, and
That's
it's kind
really
of scary.
So now Teach is at his 8 down turn.
Let's see what Teach has in store for us. This is very difficult.
Yeah,
this is
now
very, very
it's really
difficult.
more difficult to remove because there's no 5 costs. So he needs a reducer.
Yeah, what is your play in this case? Because you can't really play Burgess. You can't remove, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So is your play to play maybe Augur, these kind of 5 drops,
Yeah.
try and just develop a board to fight, but it's so slow at that case, and
Yeah.
you're losing a lot of tempo.
You could also play a stronger minus and Shigan.
Try and get that Buggy off the board to free up some space for
Yeah.
Burgess. Yep. Let's see if he has those pieces. Starts. Is that an 8?
Looks like
I believe it's an 8. Block and 2K.
yeah, that was 8.
Yeah, that blocker is going to prove to be very hard for Teach to continue his aggression, trying to end this game as soon as
So what you
possible.
looking for? Probably a Kuzan, but
Trashing Burgess for full lead. Grabbing another Burgess instead.
yeah, he
All right,
brings
we're
the
playing the
Kuzan
Kuzan. The question is, do we just pass here? Yeah, we just pass here.
because he cannot be removed
The
by
Kuzan
anything.
cannot be removed, and there's no point really playing that Burgess, like we mentioned, as long as Buggy stays on the
Yeah.
field. And he is leaving him on plays, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, yes.
Yeah. What's the scary part now? Can he bring two big bodies again?
Yeah.
Yeah, he still have the croc in his hand. So that's a scary board incoming.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely do not envy the T. Oh, he is choosing.
Yeah.
I thought he passed his turn already.
Okay.
He plays the Burgess, but the Burgess can't attack.
I guess he wanted to draw.
Yeah, he takes the draw. Maybe also planning some sort of a removal. Oh, he is using the leader effect.
Did he?
Yeah, he's trashing
Okay.
Fullelet, it looks like. And
Yeah.
yeah, he is using
He did,
leader
yeah.
effect. Removing the on plays. Do we see some big boys come down here?
Yeah. So now he's negating the on play from croc,
Yeah.
negating him from bringing another body. So now do we see the buggy? Is it time for the clown emperor to come down?
So I think here the Buggy definitely wants to play out the 10 cost
Yeah.
while he can.
So if he pay 5, he's left with 4.
Do you swing with the Mihawk here? I think you do. You're not
Yeah.
really fearing anything. Is the Blackbeard going to tend on next? I
Yeah.
believe he is. Yeah,
He
so
is.
you know,
Yeah.
you have the 10 cost coming down. Probably wants to freeze
He
that
needs
Buggy
pressure
should it
on
come
that
down,
life.
which leaves the Buggy player with just one swing. Just a question, Crazy Flying. If the Teach negates the 7 cost Buggy, does that allow his Burgess to swing then? Is it a.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So maybe that's an option he could
Because
be
it's a
contemplating.
permanent effect.
So
Yeah.
he played the Burgess, hoping to maybe then freeze
Yeah,
that
that's true.
Buggy and then swing in with Burgess and lead. So maybe in that case, swinging with the Mihawk might have been a bit risky, but you're still at 3 life as Buggy, so you're not really fearing anything specifically.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's what was I going for? To negate the buggy.
I'm trying to get news from our other undefeated table now just to see if who made it through.
So right now there's 5 undefeated um, in the tournament.
All right, trashing the
Okay.
Searcher and
There he
playing. There he is. The big
comes.
boy has come down on the table, and it's a scary sight to
Yeah.
see. All right, we just got news from the other table. Looks like Blackbeard ended up making it through, defeating the yellow kid that we've been seeing
Yeah.
in past rounds.
So from those that don't know, the 10 cost buggy, technically you bottom deck anything with his effect on play, and if you don't have a 5 cost board, your full board, he's bottom himself. But now that he got negated, he just play himself for 5.
Yeah. So you're just playing a 5 cost, 12k body,
Yeah.
which is every Blackbeard player's nightmare.
Yeah. Because he just swing at the, and you have to block with a counter.
Full of that grabbing the left feet. Does he play the 10 beard here? And if so, do you opt to
Yeah.
freeze the 7 cost buggy, or do you opt to freeze the 12k body?
Yeah.
Let's see what he decides to do.
Yeah,
He
it
does
does.
indeed freeze the 7
Nice
cost
call.
buggy, swinging with the Burgess.
Yeah.
So starting with a 5.
So he's starting 5 at
Should probably
later to
counter
chip
this
some
one.
counter. And then he will
This is kind of
probably...
Yeah, this is kind of why I would have liked to see the Mihawk maybe not swing last turn.
Yeah.
Really respect the aggression that might come out. Although it's very good for you here because you do have a 12k body that's about
Yeah.
to swing next turn. So
But then he will...
Teach identifying he's on a timer right now.
Oh, he swung 9 at lead.
Yeah,
Not
he really needs to end this game as soon as possible.
Yeah.
The board is getting out of control.
exactly. And now he's gonna use leader ability
And
again
leader effect.
because you don't want to get the bottom deck your teach. Because don't forget that Buggy, you can use his ability twice.
Yes.
One, like he can pay a 10 down, he can use it twice.
So are you hinting that maybe we could see 2 more 10 cost buggies come down next turn?
Uh,
Is that maybe...
I would like to see his hand. Okay, looks like he only have one more left.
I think if the buggy could survive, guarantee survive the next turn, it might be the play.
Yeah.
Because the Blackbeard has no way
Mhm.
of surviving the next turn with 3 12k bodies. But let's see how he decides to navigate this turn. Is it worth maybe swinging into the Burgess to try
Yeah,
and,
that's what I was wondering
and
too.
clear it? Make sure that the Blackbeard has no possible way of going for game next turn.
Yeah. I think with the Buggy you swung at Burgess.
Yeah. But then does he block 1k?
Yeah.
It's really...
If he blocks, then you just swing lead, I guess.
It's a very interesting position here. Let's see what the buggy decides to do. Starting,
Okay.
I really like this play here.
Yeah,
Starting
he's
over
gonna
the
poke at
5.
5, yeah.
Put the pressure on the teach player. What do you
Yeah.
want to do? He gives him the 1k.
Yeah.
Maybe chasing now the Burgess does make more sense.
Yeah.
He swings with the blocker, showing he's not scared of any teach shenanigans next turn. He doesn't need no blocker. Again, putting that pressure on teach. He needs to respect these swings. Leaving all 10 down up, leaving everyone guessing.
Yeah.
What is the buggy planning to do this turn?
You know, he's looking at his trash. He
Takes an
probably wants to
opportunity to
know
look
how
through his
many 10
trash.
cost teach. And he'll see there's only one there. And his Burgess is just one more card to be 1 plus 1k again.
He chooses
Okay.
to take
So he
no
take.
trigger. It's definitely not an easy decision on this turn.
Yeah.
You're staring down.
'Cause these are like probably the 2-3 last turns of this game. So you probably
mean,
take.
If we think about it, though, next turn, I don't think that the buggy needs to really chase the board, the Burgess here, because next turn
Yeah.
the only way the Burgess can swing is if they teach black holes or 10 cost teaches the 7 cost buggy,
Yeah.
which would already require investment of Dawn,
Exactly.
meaning that this is pretty much free to address
Yeah.
life here. He blocks and indeed
Give
does
a
1k.
And then
And
he's
do we
gonna
see the 2 buggies come down now? There's one opting to trash. Oh,
Okay,
play the
just
Das
play it,
Bone.
yeah.
Okay, he plays the 5/7 and then another activate main, and here do you trash the Croc?
Oh, you have 2 buggy in hand.
I think you trash the Croc and play the Teach. Play
The
the
Buggy.
buggy. Sorry.
Yeah. And
Because-
then you just threaten lethal for next turn.
Yeah.
Because the teach doesn't have another play than playing teach.
Trashing the
Yeah.
Croc indeed to play. Yeah, this makes the most sense.
Like you
The
predicted.
Croc not really having a counter. You don't need it in hand, and you play another threatening
Yeah.
body on board. Threatening lethal next turn. Teach really
Yeah.
needing to close the game out this turn.
But
The buggy's
how?
still at 2 life. It's very difficult to do. Let's see how he chooses to approach this.
Oh, he's at 2 life. But he doesn't have a blocker.
He doesn't have a blocker. The Burgess cannot swing though now.
Yeah. So he's probably got. Oh, yeah. But then he's just gonna have a 5k swing with his leader. I don't think he can threaten the game
I
for
mean,
now.
even if Teach decides to 10 cost here,
Yeah,
it pretty much he can't swing with any of his Teaches. This is looking really bad for the Blackbeard.
yeah,
I think we're seeing the writings on the wall.
yeah,
Unless pulls out some move that I'm not expecting personally. Let's see how this goes.
yeah,
Teach thinking hard. We do see a Vasco in hand. And it's just too much pressure on the Buggy side. I wouldn't want to be staring down a board like that no matter what
yeah.
leader I'm playing. So
I guess I'm curious to see what were his previous matchup, but I think in a meta that's a lot of red and black.
a lot of aggro, yeah. The 7
That's
cost Buggy
could be a really
addresses
great
Teach. I
call
think Buggy, yeah, could end up going very far in this kind of meta.
because the 7 cost buggy shut down a lot of aggro decks.
I think it does struggle
And
though against the control variant of Shanks,
yeah,
able to address Buggy's board
yeah,
to not get that 5 character threshold and shut down their ability
yeah,
quite quickly. Teach hard in thought right now.
yeah. I don't think there's a better play than playing 10 cost, but that's not winning him the game.
But I mean, if you play the 10 cost, you technically
You just lose, yeah.
lose the game, yeah. What if they play? I'm not sure if they have Kuzan in hand. If they pull out a
Yeah.
Katarina, play Vasco shot, triple blocker, but you're really playing defense at this point, and
Yeah,
you're not really closing out the
you're not
game.
winning the game.
But maybe if you can survive, I don't think you can survive one more turn. I'll be honest.
And you'll also have to pitch a card for a leader effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Because now
Full
Buggy.
lead, trashing the Kuzan, opting to. I don't know what they're looking for here. Grabbing Shiryu doesn't really do much other than a 1k counter.
Yeah, it's looking pretty grim.
And here comes the Teach, yes
Yeah.
indeed. This time opting to freeze the 12k
Yeah.
body, so his Burgess cannot swing this turn. And you
And
swing 5
now-
and pass.
You have to leader effect though.
And yeah, you probably do have the leader effect here. You don't have a
Because
choice.
then another Buggy's coming out.
Let's see what card he pulls out of Buggy's hands. Looks like only 2Ks. Yep, he gives them a 2K. And do you pitch? Yeah, you pitch the Shiryu
Yeah.
for Black Hole. And pass. All right, quite the menacing board. I mean, technically here, I feel like you can just go
Yeah.
9-9, 9-12, some sort of a combination like
Yeah.
that. I'm not sure how much counter the Teach has
So
in hand.
technically you have 4 swing right now.
Yeah, the Buggy does have to be careful
You have 2 blocks.
because
one-
if a Teach survives here,
Yeah.
he can basically go for game next turn.
Yeah.
So he has to be very careful on how he approaches this turn because it could all go
Exactly.
downhill from here.
We also know that he have a black hole in his hand, so he can just negate the blocker.
Yeah. Very interesting position.
So he have 5 cards in hand.
We have 5 what, sorry?
5 cards.
Yeah, 5 cards in his hand. It
Looks
looks like I
like
can piece
he-
together.
It looks like 6k. You have 6k counter.
Hmm.
That
Oh, difficult decision.
I don't think that Buggy can win this turn, but that might cost him his 12 cost teach if he decides to block.
Buggy very hard in thought here.
Yeah. It's not easy, Matt. The teach have 5 cards, 2 blocker. You don't want to mess up right now. Okay.
Choosing
So
to go
it-
5
yeah.
at lead.
Interesting.
I would have liked to see maybe a 7K to start
Yeah.
of Daz Bones. I don't know if I'm a fan of the 5K start.
Yeah.
Ooh, blocking with Teach, giving the Buggy an opportunity to actually clear the Teach instead of go for game, guaranteeing that he can't lose next turn. Very interesting decision by the Teach player
Yeah.
to block here.
So
It
now,
might be worth clearing that Teach. Confirming that you cannot lose next turn. But no, he opts to
Interesting.
just go 12. I'm not sure if I like 12 lead here. Oh, he goes 12 into Teach. I also maybe would have liked him to go for more Dawn investment there.
Okay, and he just raw played a buggy.
And he plays the Buggy, yeah.
Oh la la. That
I'm
might
not
have
sure if I
been-
like that too much.
Yeah.
Maybe he's quite confident with the counter in hand that he cannot lose. But I still think
So now
he's allowing the Teach maybe a comeback here.
Teach can just black hole the buggy, no? And then have 4 swing.
If he black holes the blocker,
But his Burgess cannot swing.
his Burgess cannot swing.
But if he black hole the buggy,
Well, he'll still have the blocker
He still
there, so
have
you're
the-
kind of negating still an attack in some
Yeah.
way.
but you have a larger body.
Yeah.
Like his Burgess is at 11 already.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I agree with the Buggy's decision last turn. I
Yeah.
think he didn't want to play the. He didn't want to use the leader effect to pitch a card. It looks like he has maybe counters in hand that he's valuing over using the leader effect, but at
Yeah.
the same time maybe confirming the kill on the 10 teach
Yeah,
while also pitching
he
a
had
card
to confirm
uh,
a kill there.
keeps you kind of protected in that case, and you don't have to worry.
Because now you put in a position that Teach can win. If he clear one Teach, he was. He
Yeah,
can-
it was pretty much the nail in the coffin at that case. But let's see if the teach has the answers needed.
Yeah.
If he does have the black hole, you're right, black
Yeah.
holing the Buggy.
So I think you black hole the buggy and you
allows you
swing
to have
11.
four swings there. 3 of them needing to connect.
Like you
Okay, grabbing a 2K off full lead.
I'm not sure how many counters buggy have, but I think
I saw definitely
Teach
a
can
couple of
just
2Ks. All right. You see 4 Dawn, I think, rested. And there is the black hole indeed coming out on Buggy. As predicted.
So he black hole the buggy.
The Buggy, the 7 cost Buggy. So we have 4 swings that can come out
Yeah.
here.
I think that was the play.
But he does still have the Mihawk blocker. This could also be based
So
off
now
the
he's
amount of
gonna
counter
trash,
in
yeah.
Buggy. It could be a way for
Have
him to force
12.
Teach to swing with his teaches and confirm game next turn.
Now he go 11, 12, 12, 12.
Yeah. One of them can get blocked.
Does he have
All right,
enough
it starts.
counter? Yeah. If we have, you just need to counter one.
The scary part is here, if the teach has another black hole. Actually, no, he wouldn't have enough dawn left over to really make other swings count.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or did he swing 12 first? Wouldn't you swing 11 first?
Oh, he blocks this one. Wow. I don't know if I agree with this play either. I
You
think the
have to take
Buggy
it.
is feeling the
Oh,
pressure here.
maybe he's got about another black hole.
He is, but like we said, he still has 2 life. And if he does have... No, I don't know if I agree with this play.
Yeah, man.
Because if he has another black hole,
But
the
now it's
highest
a
swing
11
Teach has
counter.
is a 7K. And he'll surely be able to get out of that one.
Looks like he have enough. He does have enough. He was
Does he
bait-
have the counter?
Yeah.
Oh, he
9,
was
10,
baiting
11,
11,
12,
13, and that should seal
Game.
it for Buggy. He was just baiting him
Yeah.
to go for a game. Very well played. And looking to chat. So if the time stops, so one time hits 0, we enter overtime rules. At that point, we have 5 minutes as overtime. And we start with whichever player is playing at that current moment as turn 0. Once their turn is finished, we go to the next player for turn 1. Then back to the initial player for turn 2. And then back to the other player for turn 3. And whichever of those 4 turns finishes first, or the 5-minute extra clock finishes, the game will be forced to end there, and whoever has a higher life count will end up being crowned the victor in that case. In this case, we did finish with just under 2 minutes left in
Yeah.
time with Buggy taking
That
the
was
game.
an interesting game.
What a great game. Great game.
All right. We'll see you for the next round.